Getting hurt on the job, whether you're in Alabama, Mississippi, or Georgia, it's overwhelming. But figuring out what to do next, that shouldn't be. So we're going to walk through a really clear 5-step guide that'll take you from the second you get injured all the way through to your recovery.
Does this sound familiar? I'm tough, I'll shake it off. It's probably the single most common and most costly mistake an injured worker can make. You know, we recently saw this with a warehouse worker who thought this exact thing. He waited 2 whole days to report a fall, and by then, his back was so bad he couldn't even walk. Of course, the company tried to deny his claim, saying it didn't happen at work. This is a trap, and it's one you can absolutely avoid.
So here's our game plan. This is your roadmap. We're going to cover what to do in those first critical moments, how to get your claim made official, where to look for extra money you might not know about, what to do if they say no, and finally, how to manage your win. A clear path from start to finish.
All right, let's dive into part 1, immediately after your injury. These are the absolute first steps you need to take to protect your rights. Because trust me, what you do in the first few hours can make or break your entire case.
I love this analogy because it's just so true. Think of getting hurt at work like a small fire starting in your kitchen. If you report it right away, you put it out. It's a small, manageable problem. But what happens if you wait? If you let it smolder? Well, that little fire can burn down your entire claim, and the company will try to use that delay to blame you. Your goal is to keep that fire small.
So here are your first 3 actions. These are non-negotiable. First, get yourself to safety and get medical help. Adrenaline is a powerful thing. Pain can show up way later. Second, report it in writing. An email that just says, "I hurt my back in aisle 5 at 2 p.m. is incredibly powerful proof. And third, and this is a big one, politely refuse to sign anything or give a recorded statement right away. Just say something like, "Right now, I need to focus on getting better first."
Okay, on to part 2, making your claim official. This is where we take that initial report and turn it into the real deal paperwork that gets your medical bills paid and those lost wage checks started. First off, what even is workers' comp? Well, at its core, it's a no-fault system, and that's huge. It means you can get benefits even if the accident was partially your fault. It's designed to cover your medical bills and about 2/3 of the wages you lose while you're recovering.
This is another great way to think about it. Filing a claim is a lot like packing a suitcase for a big trip. If you forget the right form or you leave out key details, you're going to get stuck at the airport, right? But if you pack everything correctly right from the start, you're set up for a much, much smoother journey.
So to pack that suitcase right, you got to follow these 4 steps. 1, get the official first report of injury form from your employer. They have to give it to you. 2, turn it in fast. Don't even think about that 30-day deadline. Try to get it in that first week. 3, see the company doctor if they tell you to, but be crystal clear about how your injury happened at work. And 4, start a folder and keep records of absolutely everything. That folder is your shield.
Now for part 3, and this is where things can get really interesting. We're talking about finding third-party money. So many workers have no idea this even exists. Think of it like looking for hidden treasure that's buried just beyond your standard workers' comp claim.
This chart breaks down the difference perfectly. See, workers' comp is no fault, and it covers your partial wages. But a third-party claim? That's based on fault. It means someone else, like a contractor on your job site or the maker of a faulty piece of equipment, was negligent, and that lets you sue them for your full wages plus pain and suffering.
And why does this matter? Just look at this number, $275,000. We had a roofer who got his basic workers' comp after a fall, but the scaffolding he fell from, it was made with faulty materials. His lawyer pursued a third-party claim against the scaffold company. The result, an extra $275,000. I mean, that is life-changing money.
So how do you even spot one of these cases? Start by asking, who else was involved here? Was it a piece of faulty equipment? Was it a mistake made by a subcontractor? Then you have to gather proof and do it fast. Photos and witness names are like gold. Make sure your medical records clearly connect your injury back to that specific incident and really pay attention to the deadlines.
Okay, so we've covered what to do when things go right. But now let's tackle the question that causes the most fear, right? What happens if the insurance company just says no?
And this brings us right to part 4, fighting a denial. Listen, a denial is not the end of the road. It's really the start of a fight. And this is your guide on how to appeal, how to stop any pushback from your employer, and how to win.
You know, insurance companies pretty much use the same old playbook. They'll say your injury was pre-existing, or you didn't report it on time, or it wasn't severe enough. The key takeaway here is that these are all common, predictable excuses, and every single one of them is beatable if you have the right evidence.
So here's your battle plan. First, read that denial letter carefully. Find their reason and find your deadline to appeal. Second, gather your ammo, all those records you've been keeping. Third, file a strong, clear appeal. And fourth, if your boss suddenly starts cutting your hours or hinting that maybe you should quit, document it. That's illegal retaliation, and you can fight it.
And that brings us to the finish line. Part 5, securing your win. You fought the good fight, and you won. So now let's talk about how to manage your settlement, focus on your recovery, and stay safe in the future.
Think of this whole phase like rebuilding after a big storm. You use the settlement money to clear out the immediate mess, like all the overdue bills. Then you focus on fixing what's broken, your body and your peace of mind. And finally, you build stronger fences by developing new safety habits to protect yourself from now on.
Winning your case is a huge step, but handling that win wisely is the real final chapter. Before you spend a single dollar, check for liens. That's just a legal claim from a health insurer or Medicare that wants to be paid back for costs they covered. Pay them first. Then, split your funds into smart buckets. One for bills, one for future care, one for family needs. And please, remember to heal both your body and your mind. Do the physical therapy, but also deal with the mental toll this took on you. Your long-term health is the real victory here.
Ultimately, this whole journey really boils down to one simple question. Your job hurt you. The system can be confusing, it can be intimidating, so the real question you have to answer is, who are you going to trust to have your back and actually help you heal? Because the choice you make can define your entire recovery.